Good morning, sunshine, or my bestie. So, welcome to the inner conversation. Oh, no, this is an inner gossip, not a conversation. But anyway, inner gossip. What I was saying? So, welcome to the inner gossip, a deep conversation inside of my head. That's why inner gossip, where I will try to embrace myself, and while I do it, I will invite you to embrace yourself too. So then we can build a real connection. I am Sayuri, your best friend here, and I will try to teach you how you can be yourself so then you can make friends or try something else. And this is Techansu. I will explain about him later, but he's also my emotional support here and also your best friend as well. You're gonna see how cute he is and his story one day I will tell you. Maybe not today. Anyway, let's see how many how much time we're gonna have it. Today is the third episode. I know you might think, oh my god, but I think you launched it today. How is that the third? It's because yesterday I recorded the first and the second one. And why I want to talk about that before? Because you're gonna see that this inner gossip has a structure, and the structure is the music that you listen in the beginning. It's a specific music made it for this episode, meaning that every episode we're gonna have a different music because inside of my head has so many things going on, and normally I like to adjust my mood with a song, and therefore I think have a music changing every time depending on the topic. It's something that makes sense inside of my head, and that's why I will make it. Another thing, we're gonna have a question to start the topic as well. Every session, I mean, I say session, but every episode, we're gonna have a deep question because it's kind of a warm up for our conversation. And later, we're gonna discuss about a topic. So, if you're watching this for the first time, or if you watch it this, I don't know, later, keep in mind that the music is gonna change, the topic is gonna change, and we have a question that you're supposed to be able to, once in your life, find your answer. So today's question is, what is the price that you are paying for not being yourself? And why I choose this question, it's because the price I paid for not being myself, it's a lot and it's super painful. Yesterday, as I told you, this is the third episode because yesterday I recorded two. And I was so ashamed of the episode in a way, not because what I was saying is bullshit, no, but because I'm doing this podcast to help people to get my knowledge. So basically, it's to share knowledge and help others to find their way. But I was thinking nobody will respect me if I show up in my bed, wearing clothes that is not professional or not being beautiful, whatever is the beauty standards. So yeah, today we are in my bed. Actually, not only today, but probably most of the time I will record in my bed. So you see, super comfortable. And why I'm doing that? It's because I thought I would be super comfortable with that. But it's not only the action, it's about also the mindset. Yesterday I recorded, but I was feeling so ashamed because I was not being true to myself in a way that I was so afraid of being rejected by whatever it's listening now. And yesterday I also decided to sign up for a hypnosis session. So later at night, I decided to sign up and try to find some kind of peace of mind. And it was my first time doing hypnosis sessions here, and I thought, okay, awesome. So they changed the topic as well. So every session, hypnosis sessions, they have a topic. Yesterday, the teacher told me that the topic was about abundance. Um, I was like, okay, I think I know what that means, but let's see. I was not feeling sure about it. I was so exhausted, and then the the mentor started to talk things, giving structure. I was already like falling asleep, you know. She didn't even start it, but I was like, I remember myself. Normally I don't snore, but oh my god, I snored, and when I did it, I wake up myself, you know. I was like, but anyway, what is the point is that in the end she told me, I mean, not me, but she said in the session, if someone feels that you want to receive a message from whatever you believe in, I bring some cards with some words, and you can pick a card, and that will be your message for you. I love this thing. So I said, oh, yeah, sure, let's do it. So in the end of the session, I pick a card. And guess what was the word? Abundance again. So I went to a session with this topic. I picked the same question. I was like, mm, awesome. I felt so proud of it, but I didn't feel that I know what is the meaning of this word. And then I used my the chat GPT to translate, and I said, okay, mm, doesn't resonate with me. And then I reached out to a friend because actually she is one of the reasons I signed up for the hypnosis sessions. And I said, hey, I was there, I remember because of you, and I signed up, and yeah, I told this story that I'm telling you now. And I will read what she told me. So she said, abundance has to do with your self-worth. Everyone has an issue with self-worth on some levels or some aspects in their life. First, you have to realize in what ways you are already blessed and abundant. And from that place, state of mind, you go to the word and go after your dreams. You go after your dreams because it's fun and you want that experience because it brings you joy, not to feel a lack of not to feel a lack in yourself or prove the word that you are worthy or something like that. And that was like a boom inside of my head. You know, I was like, oh my god, I'm not being truth to myself. Even though I recorded in my bed, inside of my head, I was like, I'm not worth. I mean, nobody gonna listen to that shit because I am not being professional depending on the based on the status quo of the society, you know. And then today I embrace myself and I feel so much comfortable, so fucking much comfortable. And why I will still publish the first and the second episode that I recorded yesterday for you to see what is the result of our work when you do something that you don't believe in. I mean, you can do it, but if you don't truly embrace yourself, you might not have a good result. I was not proud of my work from yesterday, and actually, if I didn't have a point of showing the impact of not being yourself, I don't think I would publish at all. But I would do it because then you can have a reference for you to see the result of not being yourself. So the questions today is, what is the price you're paying for not being yourself? So take as a homework. But today's episode, it's about being authentic and not about abundance in a way, but still, I think abundance and authenticity will come together because you need to know yourself, be authentic to yourself, so then you can go for finding and enjoying the experience that you have in your life, knowing what you're looking for. For me was so life changing talking with Norina that I invited her to participate in the podcast. So we're gonna record that this week as well. So stay tuned, and it's gonna be an awesome topic because she works with this kind of mindset, self awareness. So it's gonna be really, really rich topic. But anyway, today we're gonna talk about authenticity. And what is that? Basically, is being true to yourself, knowing your values, knowing what you believe, knowing what you're feeling. And for me, it's also a way of being yourself, but standing for yourself. Because sometimes, like I know that I don't like to be uh, professional in a way, not professional in a like a dress code, wearing suits. I never like it. I didn't. I never felt comfortable. Even though I tried so hard. I working in a bank, so imagine, and my first day in the banking, I remember my manager looked at me and she said, "Really?" I mean, you can come the way you are. You don't need to wear something that it's clearly not your outfit. And why she said it's clearly not my outfit, because I used to have bald hair here, so only half of my hair. And to hide this hair, I put like this. So I was like this. Then she looked at me and she said, "Honey, that's not you." So later, yeah, I could be myself again. But if you still didn't understand what I want to say about authenticity, I came with two examples. So, one is what I consider being authentic, the other one is what I consider not being authentic. So, probably most of the people will be this one. Let's start with most of the people, probably you, or I would say everyone, because I think it's a state of mind, like finding your own peace. But I'm still, everyone somehow struggle with the same of not fitting and trying to find their own group of people, being accepted. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that this is the society, so everyone thinking the same, or at least the people that you want to be close with, and that's you. That's you. And when you find someone that you want to kind of be connected, if this person says something, or if you think that this person is still thinking of something, you're gonna change yourself to try to make a connection. So you will accept everything that this person is saying, or everything that the social media is saying, or everything that you think that the society expected of you. And actually, I keep saying same, but actually it's not. You don't need to say a word. That's all about your own expectation or your own thought about someone else. So you see, you change yourself. You be less bold, I would say, less strong. But what happens when you be true to yourself? Well, this is olive oil. So if you have the basics of studying, you know that if I put something here, I hope so, but if you put something here, that's not going to change. You see? Even though they accept being around others, they don't change themselves, they protect each other. And that's my invite for you today. So, after this podcast, I hope you can embrace yourself enough to know and to protect yourself from your own expectation and also others' expectation upon you. Okay, but anyway, um, actually, it's pretty cool, right? Look how amazing it is. I mean, both is fine. Both both is fine, but this is healthy. And yeah, not only healthy, but this one is happier than this one. I guarantee you. You're gonna see the results. So today I am this one. Yesterday I was this one, and you're gonna see the result. Okay. So what is the benefit of being a this one? So what is the benefit of being authentic? I have several. So let's start. First of all, a concrete example. I mean, every example I will share with you, it's concrete, but this podcast. So actually, this podcast it's a way of being authentic to myself. Uh, First of all, I am at my bed. I am super comfortable right now because if you know me, if you come to my home, you're gonna see that I am being myself 100%. Um, Tichansu also. Tichansu. So maybe now is the time to talk about Tichansu. Why he is a swan and why is the Chansu? So basically, he is my mascot of my workshop creativity, and he is my version that I try to embrace myself as a kid. Because when I was a kid, I always thought myself as the black swan, and not because my family didn't accept me, but because I was so depressed and frustrated with myself because I was not as my sister. My sister are super slim, and they were super nerdy. They achieved the high grades at school, and as I said, I was totally different. So I was really with a bad grades. There was a time that I almost not passed the year, so it was terrible. Until I accept myself, and my sister went to public schools. They tried, they followed their wishes. I mean, in the beginning they tried to they achieved like the medicine school, engineer school, whatever. The thing is, I tried as well and I failed. So I always carry this on my shoulder, like a feeling super frustrated with my life until I realized that that didn't prove me or bring me any value, and therefore I decided to sign up for a gastronomy school. So I have a degree in gastronomy, and since then, because I have others degrees as well, but since then I always got 10. I achieved everything that I would consider success in my career. Yeah, because I was raised, embraced, empowered enough to be myself. I'm here in Berlin talking in English for you to listen. So it's like crazy. I so coming back to Chichansu is a black swan for me to remind myself that he's a swan and he needs to keep going every day and now and then for him to become a really wonderful swan. Um, and why the name is Tichansu? It's because Tichansu comes with the wording of the chance, because in Japanese chance is chansu, and I want to make like a funny wording naming with the chansu. So yeah, it's for me to remind myself that that's my chance. And if I don't do it, I will lose the chance of doing it. So just speak up, and I hope that the chance makes sense for you as well. Anyway, the benefit of it is like you can have your chance, you can embrace him, and you will change your vibration. You're gonna change your energy. You're gonna feel so much happier. I promise you, it's so much light. Mm, what else? There is several benefits. So I'm doing this podcast, and I have other three example. One of them, it's I would say is the most significant for me, is actually I met Diego. So my partner, I was a case of success, I would say, because I was only able to find him from the day that I decided that I don't need it to fit inside of a normative or expectation of woman. So imagine myself, I'm super energetic. I like to talk. And normally you're gonna see I say fuck, and in Portuguese I say even worse words. And in Brazil, I was so afraid of being myself that I couldn't say a word. Like I imagine myself not saying fuck or not laughing or not making jokes. I mean, if you think that I'm funny in English, it's because you don't know myself in Portuguese. I am so much funnier. And I was trying to be like the kind of what I consider kind of a woman that in Portuguese we say recatada do lar, but I never, I was never happy, you know. I was never happy because it was not me. Um, yeah. And from the day that I decided to stop this bullshit because all my exes cheated on me, I said, why am I killing myself if nobody give a fuck about me? So I said, okay, forget about it. I will just be myself, be happy. And then Diego appeared on the same day, on the same fucking day that I decided to be myself. That was Diego. And since then, we are together because Diego, I love him so much because he allowed me to be myself. And I think that's the type of relationship you should looking for, okay? Another thing, also, I got a job here, and the job really made my life because without this job, I would not be here in Berlin. I would not live in the dream that I was looking for. So, and I was only able to be myself in the interview because I believe that myself was the best, you know. And this was not the in the every case because when I started to go to interviews, I remember myself. I started to buy some clothes, even colorful. If you know me in person, you know that I don't use color. And I bought a really neon color that I used to use in every interview. But in the end, it was holding me back because I was not being able to be myself. I was trying to keep professional, you know, until I realized that because I was not being myself, I was not getting the job. And from the day that I decided to show up in a black t shirt, honey, bah! Instantly, I got the job. It was crazy. Can you imagine? Like only a fucking black t shirt made me feel so comfortable that I got the job. Um, and of course, if you feel comfortable, if you feel happy, if you feel proud of yourself, you're gonna attract people. People are gonna like you, and therefore you're gonna have friends. And that's why I got so many friends here because you know energy, honey. And what people think that it's authenticity, and they confuse a lot, is that being authentic is not being an asshole. So when I say you don't need to change yourself because of the society, I'm not saying be an asshole. Like I don't give a it's not a way of giving a fuck for the status quo. It's more a way of reflecting, knowing yourself enough to say, hey, I don't want to change who I am because of it. I can embrace it. I can be together in a cup with you, but I don't want to change because that's not my truth. That doesn't mean you you broke the glass, you know. That's not say, I hate you because You are like that. No, no, honey. It's not being an asshole. It's just to protect yourself because you know who you are. Okay? So don't be an asshole. This process is not about the others. This process is about you. And actually, from my perspective, be authentic. It's more about self-defense other than changing others because you don't need, actually, you cannot change others. If you think that being authentic is to prove others what they need to do, you're not being authentic from my perspective. You're just being an idiot. Be authentic, it's more knowing how to set your boundaries and telling people that, or not telling, but knowing that what people tells you doesn't make sense. If you know. So that's why you should have a self-awareness. Um, okay, so here are some things that you can do to be more authentic. The first one is follow my channel. So continue listening to my podcast because I think that's my goal. I will help you to be more authentic. Another thing I would say, do therapy, honey. Do therapy. Therapy, it's fucking awesome, and you should do it. Um, and what else? Oh, and what is you should do as well is have some steps. So let me bring you to the kitchen because I will show you what is the steps or the kind of mindset you should have to be more authentic. So give a moment. Ah, wait, wait. So so, I bought this kind of stuff, but ah, he's not changing. Stop. Wait. No, okay. Now you see all my house, which I was not planning to, but anyway. Um, what I want to show you is that. So this is my kind of mantra that I need to keep my eye to remind myself of the things that I look for. And I will translate for you. I can also, no, I cannot put on a screenshot because it's in Portuguese. So I will read. Done is better than perfect. So when you try to do something to be authentic with yourself, you need to understand that it's going to be painful because everyone feels afraid of being rejected. And even though you know how to control this fear, it is still a fear. It's still going to hurt you in the beginning. So you need to reflect and deal with your fears and understand that done it's better than perfect. Another one is here is like what you resume you did not listen you did not learn it. So if you did not make a resume of something that you just learned, you're not gonna understand later. What I want to make another analogy of it is that if you experience something like a trauma, and if you don't if you don't try to understand this trauma, you're not gonna overcome this. You need to learn from your traumas so then you can control your fears as well, and therefore you can be yourself. Another one. The first steps are super painful, but they don't kill you, so you need to keep going. To start, you need to go with it's not with shame. You need to go shy. So just go. I mean, you are shy, yeah, but just go. If you're afraid, just go with afraid. Action cures procrastination. So if you're planning to do something, but but you have fear of being yourself, honey, you just do it. Because if you don't do it, you're gonna procrastinate a lot. Another one, you need to trust in the process. So yeah, I think this is self-explanatory, right? Direction is better than the pace. You just cannot stop. So knowing want to go and where you want to achieve, it's better than going faster. This is set your expectation. So here's my expectation about my own company, and therefore they say that normally it takes you 18 months. So that's why I put here 16 months. So I put here that to feel really, really comfortable with this process of going digital, of doing podcasts, of doing my course, blah, 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 whatsoever. I will really achieve what I look for as a success in mid of next year, 26. Yeah, the goal here is just keep going, not give up because it's hard. Make a plan for studies, and success is a successful person is the person who did not give up. And if you are afraid, go with your fears, because your fears will not gonna disappear if you don't go with it. Yeah, you need to learn. So fear, you're gonna learn in this podcast that fear is your best friend, and you should learn with that and plan accordingly, because they will not just disappear. And actually, I think it's a stupid idea if you pretend that you're not fear and you don't play any other thing to protect yourself. Your fear tells you something that you need to learn. But anyway, today's topic is not fear. And as you can see, my house, it's full of post-its to remind myself, but we can come later. And yeah, so it's done. And so every time you need to remind yourself to be authentic, this is my reason, this is my base for being authentic. And here is the music that I told you from this episode. I will put the lyrics below, and also if you like it, please support me and sign up in my channel, share the music, and if you don't like it, well, I'm sorry, you can move on. Thank you for watching. Bye.
In the realm where thoughts collide, deep conversations open wide, self-awareness by our side, popcorn explosions we won't hide. We dig deep beyond the veil, every story sets sail, lost in wisdom some will trail.